Welcome to this look at another new mod map to Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the Essarts. This is a mid-mountain retreat. This is by GuiLaum, 178.35 megabytes download with 8 required mods. There are no custom crops. Contracts are available. Slot count is 1,146 on all 3 game modes. I removed all of the equipment and machinery and most of the stuff at the main farm. I couldn't get all of it to remove, so something to be aware of. I got it down to 1,014. It says there are 25 collectibles. I haven't come across one yet, but it says there are. So, the map looks like this. Now, it's not the whole map. All this darker section is the map. All around the outside, that's unpurchasable, unplayable. This is kind of like a mid-mountain valley. It's just yeah, it's really cool actually. It's a very nice map. Got a lot of wooded area, forestry down here. These plots, I did purchase them off camera. Fairly expensive, but there's a lot of forestry, and then you've got a lot of open land up here as well. So if you wanted to make extra fields, you could plough them out, or another farm, or another animal pen, or something like that. This one here as well. If you purchase this one here, plot 5, there is a shed there that pops up for you to use. All of the plots can be purchased that have got things on as well. So, for example, where are we? I say all of them. That's not quite true. Plot 3, for example. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to explain this first. If we come down to here and we've got what's owned, so on our start farm we have a greenhouse, and then what's available is just a dairy. Now, some maps have all of the productions listed as available. Some maps have some listed as available, and then others, when you buy plots, they become available. Others, they just seem to be hidden, and you have to kind of work out where they are. So on this map, if we buy this plot here, plot 60, do that, the trigger comes up for that. If we do this one, buy that, trigger comes up for that, or the icon comes up for that. Now we also have 2 plots of land up here by the little hamlet. Field 23, or plot 23, we buy that. Plot 28 there, and then we've got up here plot 27. Plot 27 we probably won't drive round to. There's a water tower, so it's a water point basically. You can put water points in. Field prices, as you would expect, aren't too expensive. No, actually no, I retract that. I was going to say they're about what you expect for the size, but actually they're not. They're quite expensive for the size, considering it's a fairly small map. They are quite pricey. No, I retract that last statement. So, and then forestry plots up the top there as well. Let's hop out of here. There's nothing under build mode over and above the required 8 mods. We start here by this lovely little church. And if we spin around, it's a lovely map. It's really nicely made. It's a nice mix of the little town. There's a little bit of farm field stuff to do. There's a bit of forestry if you want to do forestry. There's kind of pioneering bits of forestry where you can make your own new fields as well if you want to. Plus the farm. Again, it's not a massive map. It's probably not a bad starter map, I would say. Oh, you know, it doesn't matter how long you've been playing the game for. But I have encountered some issues with these extra animal pens. If I open the doors and we come to our dialogue trigger here, I went all around the dialogue trigger for putting your animals in and out. I went all around the pen. I've been all over the place. I tried with the gates open and closed. Nothing. I can't get anything to come up. Bottom right, if you've got your information panel open, it does say this will hold 42 animals. So you could probably do directly. Now, I haven't tried with a trailer, whether the trigger will come up with a trailer. It seems weird that there's nothing coming up at all. And then you've got your food trough and your water trough just over there. I even tried, and this was how desperate I got, where you can open the door on these to put the stuff in. I even tried that. I thought maybe it needs to have the door open to rent. No, it just, yeah. So this one here, and then the one that's across the way, we'll walk over and do that one in just a moment as well, but we're going to walk through and do some of the bits first. So there we go. The Essarts. This is one of those little hamlets that you drive past, you cough and you're at the other side. You know, it's lovely. Ben is just there. Vehicle shop and workshop trigger is just here. I didn't actually check to see. Did I write it down? I didn't write it down. whether this was the reset point or not. So I guess what we could probably do at this point, if I go in here and we go to there on the map, the main farm is where your pickup truck is. So what we'll do is reset that. I assume this will be the reset point. It would make sense that it is. Yep. So the other thing I was going to point out as well, on New Farmer we start with the main farm and that big animal pen down there. That big, say, animal pen, it's a massive open mountainous field pasture type thing. 279,885, and then the starter farm itself is plot 1, just there, 243,194. So if you're on farm management and start from scratch, that's what those plots will cost you. So this is the reset point as well, as you can see. I'll come back in just a moment. Just around the sides here, we've got a plethora of people. We've got the animal dealer point. We have got Katie. We have got Walter, just there. We've got David through there looking after the chickens. Everyone's hanging about. I don't think these bales now. I was going to say the bales are decorative, as far as I recalled. And then we got the, I think this is the kiosk. Yeah, small farmer's kiosk, or is it large? Big farmer's kiosk. I'm not going to do my usual joke. People are getting fed up with my jokes. I do keep doing the same ones over and over again, to be fair. Makes me smile every time. So if we head out of here. Now, I don't know if you can tell on the floor or not. So you see, if you look to the left of the pickup, I wrote on my notes, flickering. When you walk, or in this case drive, you see there, you've got this, I'm not sure what's wrong with the textures. Whether it's the conversion over to console or it's a layering thing, I'm not too sure. But I went into the main farm, you can see on here as well, look. I thought, that's a weird shadow. And as I walked forward, it was flickering on the ground like, you know, sometimes when you speed up time and the sky's still moving after it's sped up time, or clouds are moving past. I thought it was that. Look, there you go, look. I'm not sure whether it is that, whether it's the I don't know, it's odd, but anyway, that seems to be across the map. So I don't know, because of the animal pasture thing and maybe that, the flickering on the ground, whether the map will get an update, potentially. So this was the other pasture we bought. This was, was it plot 23? This holds 28. Yeah, bottom right, it says that. If we come over to this as well, nothing. I've got nothing coming up for animals. I tried L1, R1, L1, R1. I thought maybe it's just a slightly different trigger or something, but I still can't get it to work. And then food trough, water trough, just there. Hop the fence, you can see the water tower just over there by the tree line. Back to the pickup, and then we'll whiz to the farm. And then we'll crack on around the map. I don't know if you've ever encountered a moment like that, with that flickering or something. You know, sometimes happens at train stations when you're sitting on a bench or something waiting for a train. A train comes past and you feel like you're falling over, or you're sat on a train and another train pulls up, and as it pulls away or you pull away, you're not sure which one's moving. That kind of thing. As it happened, I was like, I thought I was going to fall over. So what? I couldn't work out what was going on. Am I passing out? Am I going to suddenly black out and collapse on the floor? It was just a strange thing. So into the back of the farm. Yeah, look at it all across the floor. So cows, 130 at the cow barn. Cross, actually, I'll grab the pick up again in a moment. With manure heap on the side, we've got a lintner. Very cool indeed. Silage clamp at the back, trailer tucked away. I have to say, going to Lintner for FarmCon, I've done 3 or 4 FarmCons now. It was one of the best ones. It was very small, but the Lintner factory, the Lintner people, it was brilliant. It felt a lot more personal than the big places you go to, you know. Anyway, if you get an opportunity to go to FarmCon, we don't know where it's going to be this year, do we? Next year. And they've set the date, but no notice. Anyway, Bale and pallet storage. This is a multifunctional shed. This does 1,450 items. But we've got baler and windrower just there. We do have a silo, which is just the other side of that. We'll get to that in just a moment. I think it's a Farmer 400. As you can see, we've got the Bale transport trailer just there. Now, like I say, when I was removing buildings and whatnot, most of the fencing, I was able to remove most of that. Some of the decorative items, especially around the silage clamp. It always seems to be when there's a silage clamp, it wouldn't remove. Most of the other stuff did, some of the oil drums and barrels and bits and bobs, but again, just save the game, because it might be there's a crucial thing. You think, oh, if I remove all of this, I'm going to place blah, 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 and then there's an item you can't remove right in the way. So Farmer 400 silo, garage, storage, with mower and teller just down the side. You don't start with a lot of equipment and machinery, to be fair. Chicken run, just there for 20 chickens. Small glass greenhouse, just to the side there. And then the farmhouse, that's where the pickup was parked. That's your sleep and wardrobe trigger, just there. And that's the farm. There's only one farm on the map, but again, there's nothing stopping you building another one. It does say a fictional map, mid-mountain. The fact they've put a Lintner in for the start, I'm thinking kind of Austrian, sort of mountainous, that sort of thing, but it doesn't specify. So we're going to go out this way first. So weirdly, that plot 60. Now I assume the sell point's already there. The building is there. It's one of the required mods. It's the Lorraine Cooperative. So the sell point would be there anyway. Buying the plot of land just shows the icon on the map, and it also then gives you obviously use of the land if you want to put anything else on here. Also this big old shed space. I did double check for workshop trigger. There's not a workshop trigger over here, but yeah, so you don't need to buy the land to be able to utilise the sell point, but the sell point, as I say, wasn't showing up on the map until you did, so it was just one of those things that you needed to. So there you go. There's our big old sell point. Continuing, the next of the plots that we purchased, and again, the actual, if it was there as a sell point, if you got a contract that said you had to bring it here, it would be here anyway. But it's the old grain windmill, old mill. Let's just double check actually what that's, what it's specifically called. I think I put old grain mill. Yeah, old grain mill. This is the one that does flour and oils. I think I've used it on a couple of different Let's Plays now. It's a very useful bit of kit, this one. So click on that. So in buying the land, you do get it. So that's kind of a bonus as well. The land wasn't too expensive. So I've got flowers and oils all done at the same place here. And I think this is one where we have to lift the grate, do we? I'm trying to think. It was around the other side. There we go. Then once you start running, the windmill will start turning. So there's your old grain mill. Then around this junction, and we have got a couple of locations here. It does say gas station. When I was doing my prep, I did write a question mark. That's the Kochi, is that Kochi sell point? Is that in there? I mean, it just seems to be, I thought it was just a methane one, but maybe it is. Let me just double check. It says refuel. There we go. There's your gas station just there. And there's your sell point just there, kind of supermarket-esque type thing. And then next door to that, we've got the dairy. This is this an MA7 Studio one? This is the big old one that was on that really lovely map, Pallegney. So big old one. Now this one, actually it's showing on here, isn't it? Did this do extra stuff? No. Why did I have it in my head that it did extra stuff? I thought, for the life of me, I thought it did extra stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's the dairy. So if you want to purchase that, there's been so many maps, so many map tours. Not just the 5 that dropped the other day. I think it was 2 the day before that, and then 2 a couple of days before. It's just been inundated with mods and maps. I'm trying to catch up with all the map tours. Yesterday there were no mods, but there were, I think it was something like, was it 37 or 42 updates? Again, I'm assuming Giants are just trying to clear the decks before Christmas, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. They're trying to get as much stuff tested, checked, and kind of out the door as they can. There was a lot. Castile and Leon, which was up, then removed. I did all my prep for the map tour, and they removed the map. Look, it's kind of frustrating. That's been updated. That's back out again. I'm not sure what I'm doing about the map tour on that. My initial plan was to live stream it, but obviously now I'm running out of days leading up to Christmas and whatnot. So this is one of those, the big area up the top of the map that I showed at the start. So this is here. So as you can see, yes, we're kind of more up in the mountains. Yes, there's forestry. You got a lot more open ground here, open meadow, which gives you a lot of scope to just then decide what you're going to do. And then we move into the animal pen that we own at the start, which is quite cool actually. It's all fenced. It's a big old area. You can imagine this in the winter. I mean, I don't suppose there's anything for a ski run really. I was saying, like, loads of snow and people up here skiing. I suppose you can go snowmobiling and stuff. We don't have a snowmobile. Have we ever had a snowmobile in game? We've had sledges and stuff, haven't we? So as you can see, you've got cattle grids, and then we go into the actual pasture itself. Be careful, it is a bumpy bit. I may have been catapulted somewhat when I was doing my prep. So the big old pasture out here. This does 425 cows. Was this the same? I think. Yeah. Didn't have a trigger here as well. I don't. It's, yeah. It's an odd one. Then back out the other side, and we're heading to, again, you can imagine the, I mean, this is beautiful. Really picturesque. There's a big old restaurant up here, and it's that thing of, like I say, in the winter, trekking up here, or like I say, whatever it might be, however you end up getting up here, all wrapped up, and then going to this lovely little restaurant. And it's funny, when, like I say, when we were at Lindner in Austria, we stayed at a ski resort called Niederau, which was, obviously it was in the summer, so there was no snow or anything. We went up the ski lift up the mountain, and we stopped and had a bite to eat. All the FarmCon guys, all the farming sim content creators, and it was just like this, which was incredible. Long bench tables out the front. It was, yeah, very reminiscent. There's the shed that's available if you purchase that plot of land. And now we've got a bit of a drive, because we're kind of coming back down off the more mountainous bit with the forestry and open areas, down to more of the farm fields. I do like it when a map makes you feel something, you know, if it evokes a memory, whatever it might be. I've had 2 or 3 of them, if not more, of the map tours I've done over the last few days have done that. So we're going to go this way. Now we're going to go all the way around the outside on this, because we can, I think, cut across to the final location. Oh yeah, plot 2, I didn't buy it, because that's got another location on it that we are going to potentially require, that's not showing at the moment. Got We'll do it when we get there. It's where Noah is, if you can guess what that's likely to be. This one's a little bit more complicated. So Noah is just over there. We are at plot 2, which I forgot to buy. And again, it's not showing, so as soon as you buy the plot, 44,000. You can't answer that, can you? We get the sawmill. Now the sawmill, again, it's one of the required mods. This one I recall, when this came out as a mod, it's quite a complicated one, if I remember correctly. So we've got all this stuff we can do, like bakery cases, barrels, bathtubs, doghouse, empty pallets. There's a whole load of things. You know, like wooden boxes, wooden box for cheese, wooden shelf. There's a ton of stuff. This mod also then comes with a load of stuff in the not build mode. Well, I suppose technically it is in the purchase point. You can buy all of those things if you want to as well. But anyway, they are all available here. Oh, spoiler alert! I found one. I think it was one. Come and talk to Noah if you come onto the map. Anyway, that's the map. That was pretty, I'll say it's not a big map, pretty speedy. We cut across here. We could have followed this track up there and gone out to these fields. We could have gone right the way out over the top. There's loads of forestry and a couple of fields over there. But again, there was nothing. I did buy these plots just to make sure. I still thought, what if they're animal pens or something? But they're not. I think they're just open fields, open pastures with a bit of forestry. Most of the stuff is all in the centre and then out to the bottom. But there you go. That is the Essarts by GuiLaum. I hope you have found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.